So now that the introduction of the 6th Ranger is over, along with the hiatus period, I was really curious to see if the show could use Orion's character effectively and see how he plays off the others on the team. And since this episode is called Power of 6, I was expecting to see the team work as a unit. However, what we end up getting is not that. The episode opens with Orion messing around at the school after hours while Vakar brings in a creature called Skeltox who can steal human energy and orders him to attack the city. The next morning, Orion awakens from a locker and leaves the school as soon as classes start. Ernie starts opening his store but finds Orion already there with everything set up. Emma and Gia then grab Orion and take him to the command center where the other Rangers give Orion a new belt so he can access the 6 Ranger keys. Skeltox then begins to take many people's energy throughout the city, so Troy splits up the team into pairs so they can find the monster, telling Jake he's Orion's mentor for the day. While on patrol, Jake and Orion see a woman's energy get taken as well as a squad of X-Borgs, so Jake tells Orion to get the woman to safety while he morphs to take on the X-Borgs. When Orion comes back, the two go super to fight the X-Borgs and find Skeltox on a roof. Jake calls for backup before he and Orion go to engage the monster, but Jake is not faring as well as Orion in the fight, resulting in Jake getting jealous of Orion after Orion saves him from the X-Borgs. At that point, the other Rangers arrive and get in gear with RPM to fight the monster, save for Orion, who after getting both the gold and silver RPM Ranger keys, can't decide which one to morph into.
Go say, help me! What? Where am I? Wait, it's you two. So, which should I choose?
You don't have to. Rangers, fuse!
Huh? Whoa.
Orion, stop messing around and help us!
You won't believe what just happened to me! No way! Can't wait to see what this key can do. Time to go legendary! Legendary 6th Ranger mode! RPM gold and silver!
What? Impossible!
Nice!
Wow! He actually fused RPM Silver and Gold Ranger together!
Well, that's new. With the fusion powers, Orion is able to take out all the X-Borgs as well as fight Skeltox by himself, but Skeltox blasts Orion as well as the other Rangers. Skeltox then tries to blast Jake, but Emma pushes Jake out of the way and takes the hit for him, resulting in Emma, Troy, Noah, and Gia getting their energy taken. After a quick fight with Orion, Skeltox leaves to go steal more people's energy, so Orion and Jake take the other Rangers to the command center. At the command center, Jake blames himself for what happened, and even though Orion tells him it was an accident, Jake says that he doesn't understand since everything he touches turns to gold before leaving to find Skeltox on his own. Orion catches up with Jake outside and tells him that he does understand how it feels to be the only one to survive after an attack, given what happened to his own planet, and says that maybe destiny brought them together as a team. At that point, Skeltox is found, so Jake and Orion go to take on the monster. During the fight, Jake brings up that if Orion fused 2 6th Ranger keys together, why doesn't he fuse them all and become even more powerful, and holds off Skeltox while Orion tries to figure out how to put Jake's plan into action.
Please, 6 Rangers, join together with me and help us fight for Earth.
The power of 6 is now yours, Orion.
Whoa! The fusion worked! This is incredible! Jake! Are you okay, buddy?
Don't worry about me. Access your new powers.
Okay, this monster's in for a surprise. Ha! Super Mega Glow!
That's a freaking battleizer! In his new form, Orion is able to completely decimate Skeltox without much difficulty and release the energy back to everyone who was affected. Lavira causes Skeltox to grow, but the other Rangers arrive in the skyship, so all the Rangers use the legendary Megazord and the Not Q-Rex to defeat him. After the fight, Orion says that he has to go and runs off, while Gia locks arms with Jake, thanking him for saving the day. And the episode ends with Orion waking up Ernie and closing down the store. Since this is the first episode to start up the show after the hiatus period, it's not really as good as I would like it to be, but there are some elements I really enjoyed. For example, the Power Ranger stuff in this episode is really cool. The fact that Orion is not only able to fuse 2 6th Ranger keys, but all of them together is nothing short of awesome, and it results in some pretty cool action sequences. Plus, he is probably the first 6th Ranger to actually get a battleizer, which makes sense given how the show is put together. Also, his visor looks way better in the gold mode. Wait, in an earlier episode, Noah ended up in the first general fight of the show, and now Orion gets a battleizer. Man, being the Red Ranger doesn't carry as many perks as it used to. However, the plot of this episode seems eerily familiar to the Dream Snatcher episode of last season, except done a bit worse in my opinion. Instead of having their dreams taken where those affected grow roots that slowly cause the planet to die, this time Skeltox causes people to be tired, which creates a huge drop in the severity of the situation. And poor Emma, this will be the second time something like this has happened to her. Skeltox himself is also a bit of a lower grade monster than we're used to seeing on this show. He doesn't seem to have much of a personality, and I felt like it could have been just any monster, and that him being the one Orion faces in his gold form is not nearly as impressive as it could have been. But the worst part of this episode for me is Jake being jealous through most of it. While I'm happy that we finally get some characterization for Jake, him being jealous really comes out of nowhere and seems to be there for the sake of conflict. Now, it might have worked if Jake was jealous because Geo was hanging all over Orion in the last episode, but instead he resents Orion solely because he was shown up in a fight. And actually it results in Orion looking like the bigger person since he directly confronts Jake after he discovers what's going on. Still, I did like how Gia acted towards Jake near the end of the episode since it completely diffused the whole love triangle thing between Gia, Jake, and Orion that the show seemed to be going for in the last episode. Overall, I'd say this episode is okay, if even pretty good in parts. Despite my complaints, the Power Ranger stuff is really what shines in this episode, and Orion's new battleizer makes it worth watching alone. I'm Nick, aka IronMat1993, and
May the power protect you.